Welcome and thank you for tuning in to Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy. The following content may involve explicit language and materials, so listener discretion is advised.
I'm going to disclaimer at the beginning. I know we already have a disclaimer for whatever explicit bullshit. I am drunk.
Nice.
I am drunk. It's great play. This is what this thing's telling me. It's fantastic. The spirits are happening. I have had some shit hit the fan in the last 2 hours. Like, I literally was in here just with my head in a shirt crying for like an hour. And my computers weren't working. When I tell people that I am different, I am fucking different, right? Like,
That
none of
is
my
true.
equipment's working. None of my stuff's working because I am just putting out all this negative energy right now.
Yeah, it's a shit
I
show.
literally had to bring in an extra laptop with more power to put in what I was wanting to talk about today because
Yeah.
my computer couldn't handle what it normally does today because I'm just fucking everything up. But with me again, welcome back, everybody. We got Dairyland Frights. Make sure I get the right
Yeah.
podcast.
We're
Literally,
going. We're
I cannot-
cooking now.
I can't feel my face. I'm literally drooling because I can't feel my face.
This is class.
Yeah, this is great. John is wonderful. We did have to take a little hiatus. We were scheduled for another day, but you weren't feeling well. So we moved it to tonight. And then shit hit the fan. But I was like, you know what? This is life. All right. This is life in the podcast.
Damn right.
When shit goes south, because things aren't going to be going south in the future, if you know what I'm saying, you got to put that shit out there, right? Because this is life. People seem to think
this is real.
people think these podcasters are wonderful, and which I'm a bitch, but whatever. And
You're a cool bitch.
I have my special bit. I tell people I am like beer. I'm an acquired taste. You'll learn to love me.
Mm-hmm.
If not, there's the door, whatever. And it's just sometimes you've got to be reminded that we are all just people, right? I know you've been on before.
Yes.
But I'm going to again allow you a little second here, do a little ditty, give you some free advertising to tell everybody, who you are, what you do. Last time I recorded, I was to the point where I couldn't even get that part right. It was like, tell everybody what you are and who you do. And then it just got real weird, real fast.
Who I'm doing and with who you are. So, with Dairyland Frights, it's a paranormal podcast. And we have a bunch of guests on, and we talk about the paranormal. We talk about different mysteries, sometimes relationships. Speaking of that, I
could have a 2-hour episode on this.
I know Natasha. I want to bring her back on, and we're gonna have a round table. I'm gonna do a round table with Natasha and some other women in the paranormal, and just talk about some things and how relationships and all. I think it'd be a blast. Anyway.
Remind me when you're done. I've got something to tell you.
Yeah, awesome. So anyways, we talk to authors, we talk to paranormal investigators, we talk to mediums, we talk to UFO investigators and everything. And it's just really fun to hear how everyone views the paranormal and their spooky stories and everything like that. We also have a lot of fun. Like Natasha and I are having fun right now. That way you can come on and just listen to someone is not, which I love. I wish I would have somebody like this, but I've never had a person that's been like, there's an alien in my closet and his name is Sammy. And we
not in my closet, but I straight up have an alien story.
Oh, okay, cool. I have his baby and stuff, which I bet Natasha has a story about. Anyway, but just Natasha, you'll love this. You'll love this. So I had a medium just recently who did a live reading for me.
Ooh.
Okay. And her name is Deborah Roque. I would love, if you want to have her on, I highly
for sure, send her my way.
She's one of the spirit guides. And here's the thing, Natasha, I wanted to put it out there. I wanted to put the reading out there, but man, it got really personal. And I don't mean like bad personal. Okay. I don't mean like you suck and your spirit guides are
I
gonna
see
kick you in the balls.
handcuffs and
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. We're not talking that.
wait, that's
So I
I'm sorry.
found it out. So I found out. So I found out three things. One, I have four spirit guides.
And they got their
Two,
hands full, huh? They can't just do one job.
I
Should put
guess
another
so.
motherfucker on this.
Yeah. They're like he's double duty, triple four duty. Anyway, so I found out I
Assistant
had
of the
four.
assistant of the assistant.
Yeah, yeah. I found out I had four spirit guides. Hilarious.
He
So
goes,
I
I'm listening.
yeah, this is awesome. This is live. I love it.
Oh,
So anyway, I found out I had four spirit guides, and then she was telling me about certain things in my health that I had. There's no way she could know this.
yeah.
Not a chance. And also, she was talking about my family, about my kids. Like, there's no way she would have known this, Natasha. And then also, she talked to me about like my personal life, like things are going on, like I need to stay focused on things that sometimes, and it got like really emotional,
Yeah.
and I really wanted to put it out there, but I'm like, no, this is too much. This is heavy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
Uh,
difficult, is what it just said.
and she goes into a trance, so it's super weird at first, and if you're not used to it, you're kinda like, "What's going on?" Because she'll just go into this trance, and then she'll just look at you and stare at you, and then this voice comes out of her, whatever your spirit guide is. So it could be a woman, could be I'm guessing it's a man with you, Natasha. I'm guessing it's at least 3 or
Probably.
4 men.
Or a lesbian. I don't know which.
Or
Or
you got the trifecta going, lesbian. uh, anyway, so she goes through this. And it was a really interesting episode because one of the things she was talking to me about is our spirit guides are like all around us. And those times when you're like, man, I want to do this. And then there's this voice, like you said,
yeah.
voices in your
Yeah.
head. Maybe
It's
they're a
like,
little
oh,
different. Like, no, you better not do
yeah.
that. And sure, people can say conscious and all that, whatever you want to say. But it was just really weird because there are times in my life where I've been, like, down and stuff, like, depressed, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, I just feel, "Okay, wait a minute, things are gonna be okay, things are gonna," and I don't know where that comes from other than you could say, "Oh, you just got over it," or, "Oh, you got through
Oh,
it." These are the spirit guides, or at least what I found out, the spirit guides who are helping you learn things, and that's their job, and I thought that was pretty cool. Whether
I
you
got a
believe it or
theory.
not, I think it's really cool. Yeah, go ahead.
What if it's that you have something following you that feeds off of negativity? So you're feeling miserable. It's waiting for you to just fill up that tank, right? It's waiting for you to
Mhm.
just put all that food on the buffet. And then eventually you get to the point where you're like, I'm about to, are you okay? No, I'm not. Thanks for asking, though. Uh, but they put all this stuff out when you get to a certain point and then it eats the buffet, right? So then it's eating all
Yeah.
this negativity coming from you
Mhm.
and it's alleviating that from you. So
Mm.
maybe there's like a combo platter, like they've got like like you have four. Maybe one of them is like, hey, I feed off of this. So let him
Mhm.
feel it. I
Yeah.
need him to feel it. I need it to magnify. I need it to just
Yeah.
com- combine and just compact and all that. And then it's, I will come in and I will eat that because I need that. But he needs
Mm.
to feel it or
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
He hisses, I want to stay. And maybe it is something like that where it's like you get to that certain point and then all of a sudden you feel great. I'm almost wondering if there's something in the background there that's feeding off of that and like sucking it from
Sure.
you. So it makes you feel better at the end. But
Yeah.
you have
That
to deal with it first and you have to
Mhm.
experience it and feel it
Yeah.
and have that fear and that anxiety and that negativity. And then it's like,
Mhm.
here, fill up that juice box, baby. Let me stick that straw in.
Yeah, yeah, you're right, right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, and it's
I would
really,
love to have her on 100%.
it's really cool because you don't think about it like that and everything. The other thing is I did an episode with just before Christmas, did a little episode about grief and dealing with lost one and stuff like that. and I had another medium who deals with that. And during the session, she was contacted by my mom. My mom died 3 years ago, and we were
What?
talking about my mom, and all of a sudden she just went, "Okay, yep, I
Yep.
will." She went
Mhm.
like that. And then she kept going, and then she reached out to me after, and she said, "John, I wanna let you know, I was talking to your
Sorry.
mom." It's all good. "I was talking to your mom, and she's okay. She's fine. Don't worry about her. She's in a good place, and she told me she loves you." I was like, "That
Fuck.
wow."
Yeah.
And it's just she said that never, ever happened to her during a recording. She said never, ever, ever
That
happened.
is crazy. That's some of this shit is just so bananas. And I've always wanted to try to meet other people that are like me that kind of see things because I don't know how it works, right? Mine just happens when it happens. I can't do anything about it. It just is what
Sure,
it
sure.
is.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and I would love because the amount of stuff that I could probably do to help people if I knew how to use it
Mhm, mhm.
would be fantastic.
Yeah.
P.S. I'm getting ready to send you some links just so that you have them.
Mhm.
Candy.
Candy. We got
I want candy.
it was crazy in the sense of having a couple episodes like that, and then I had another episode too where a paranormal investigator was talking about how she was molested during a investigation, like,
I have heard a
really
couple stories
bad.
about like that. When my ex-husband was still here, I had it to where like I was in bed, I sleep with a headband on and I turn sounds on
Yeah.
so I can't hear or see anything. And out of
Mhm.
nowhere, this thing felt like betrayed her. It felt like it was holding my foot, right? So I thought it was my
Yeah.
husband. So I paused my stuff and I'm like, hey, what do you need, babe? No response.
Yeah.
So I put my headphones back on, whatever. I just hit play, keep going.
Mhm,
And then it was like
mhm.
on my ankle. And I'm like, babe, do you need something? Nothing. So then I turn it back on because I'm a dumbass and because apparently I just keep doing this. And then it's like my calf. And then
Yeah.
it was my knee. And then it was like
Yeah.
on my thigh. And I was like, oh, hey, I might actually get some actions. Wife. Okay. But it was like on my thigh. So I was thinking, he was going to get a little busy. And I was like, oh, hey, babe. And
Sure.
I turn my headphones, take my headphones off, and I turn around
Yeah.
and I can still feel it on my thigh. And there is nothing.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah.
nothing there. And I'm like,
Yes.
you need to get off me. Don't touch me. Get your hands off me. That is not
Right?
acceptable. And then it
Yes.
backed off. But it was like
Mhm.
creeping up my thigh. And I was like, well, I don't think so, Scooter.
That damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I just don't know, and she was in a prison, she's investigating a prison, and and she said the same thing you said, basically, "Back off,
Mhm.
you can't do this," and it stopped. How how can you the next because there's nobody there, right? Like, how can you the next day just go,
But you
"La,
can feel
la, la,
it. I mean,
la."
it literally feels like somebody is touching
But
you.
yeah, that's my point. Like, how does that doesn't mess you up?
I mean,
How
if
does
you're
that
somewhere
not
else,
mess
I
you
get
up?
that. It just pretty much depends. It depends on how often it happens. Literally, so much weird
Mm,
shit happens to me now that I'm just like, oh, it's whatever.
yeah,
Like, it's fine. I literally had a
mm,
door at work open on its own. My manager saw it while it was happening.
yeah.
He's freaked out. I'm like, oh, it's probably just one of my people. It's fine.
Just white people, they're coming along for
I'm
the
like, it's no big
day.
deal. It's fine. Which is interesting because earlier this thing, it makes no sense, is what it says.
Yeah.
At work, I got a spirit named Barbara, and Barbara wanted
Mm,
coffee. It was really funny. And so it was just this whole conversation that me and this other person had.
mm,
Exactly. Thank you. And so it just said Barbara again when I was talking about the other person. So I'm like, there must be a Barbara involved with this person or
mm,
something.
yeah,
Whew,
that's
man, this
crazy.
bottle of vodka is getting real heavy real fast.
Oh, here we
Like,
go.
what will happen?
All gas, no brakes in this one, folks.
Get it done. Sorry, guys. It
Um,
has been a very long day.
sucks. That sucks. Changing gears to make you feel better, at least you're not, abducted by aliens and they experiment on you, unless they do experiment on you.
I
Sorry for that.
have one that was so realistic that I still to this day, and I am very skeptical on like the whole alien thing.
Okay.
I don't know why.
You
I
mean
try to stay skeptical. But this thing literally, it happened to me and it was so realistic that
yeah.
I am questioning whether or not it was a dream or it was real because I had physical pain when I woke up
Mm,
in the same space. And it
yeah.
all lines up. Everything makes sense to what they would have done to me.
I mean, like, prodding you and all that good stuff, poking you and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And did you feel like how did you feel like you were somewhere else, or did you feel they were doing it in your room?
No, I was okay. So I hear a lot of encounters where people they it's, oh, I went on the ship or oh no, mine was
Right.
I was asleep and when I woke up, I was strapped to a table.
Oh,
And what they
okay.
were doing and the looks of confusion on their faces all lines
Yeah.
up to my anatomy. Because I am not
Oh,
normal. I am missing a bunch of pieces inside that they wouldn't have thought of, right? So they're
okay.
looking around, they're like, what the
Yeah.
doom? And it was just like, I mean, my stomach hurt so bad. We'll just, you know what? When I'm on your show, we'll bring that up, okay?
Okay.
We'll get
That
into
sounds
that.
awesome. That sounds awesome. That's
Oh
awesome.
man, I've got to try to read this and it's all fuzzy right now.
Uh-oh.
This is gonna be thank you. Hi. What's funny is this ball didn't go off the last time I recorded at all. It was always this one over here. So this is cracking me up. So this must be a new one.
Yeah, it must
Moved
be a new
quickly.
one.
That's the second time I've gotten that.
Hmm.
Is that quickly enough?
Ah!
I feel like a Muppet.
Yeah, yeah.
What is that, Grover?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, definitely send her my way because that would be phenomenal. Oh, I was gonna tell you. Speaking of weird stuff,
It's not
so
already weird?
I was talking to these people. I'm on the site, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, I've had more than one person that have come to me. They're like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? You're talking. Oh, what do you do for work?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, I have more than one job. I sell cars. I have a podcast, and all this stuff." And I was like, "And I make weird crafts." And they're like, "What do you make?" And I was like, or they'll send me a message they're like, "Hey, what are you doing?" It's like a Friday night, right? And I was like, "Oh, I'm just boiling bones in a pot."
Hey, look at
Or
that.
like the next day, they're like, thankful. And then the next day, they're like, "Oh, hey, what are you up to?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just painting my bones." And they're like, "Wait, like real bones?" And I'm like, "Yeah, real bones."
Mm. Yeah.
And then they're like, immediately, like, "Oh, never mind. Have a good night."
Oh,
That
man.
sounds really weird.
Oh, there we go.
And so that's already like a 1-2% of the population kind of situation.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Every girl in my family, including my stepsisters on both sides, all have red hair. The
What?
boy, yeah, the boy is the only one that has brunette hair.
Okay. That
Okay.
is freaky.
I also have brown eyes, and a lot of redheads have hazel eyes, right?
Mm. Yeah.
So there's not a lot of me out there. Not only
Mm.
that, I'm also left handed. That's
Oh.
another thing that just is very uncommon, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
all my other sisters are right handed. I'm the only lefty.
Wow.
And the only other lefty is my brother, who's the brunette.
Woo.
I also found out that I have
Freaky.
AB positive blood,
Mhm.
and no one
Wow.
else in my family has that. It's only me that has it.
Huh.
And there's 4 kids. So there's 3 of us that are full siblings.
Yeah, yeah.
It literally just switch fire. So you have the 3 siblings that are full-blooded siblings, 2 halves on either I have a half on either side, and
Mm.
all of them are right-handed. Nobody has the blood type that I have. I am literally like a genetic screw up. I don't know what happened. It
I
was
just
like
threw a
God
bunch
was
of
like,
stuff.
"You know what? This chick over here, we're just gonna
Little bit
throw
of
all
this
the
and
random shit at her." But because my siblings have stuff in common and I don't, I have always been fascinated with genetics
sure.
and how does that work and why does that work? It's like my kid, me being a recessive trait disaster. My son, literally, if you take him anywhere, nobody. Hi, Mary. That's my aunt's name. Ah, um, Scream. That's not good. Um, but my son looks absolutely nothing like me. Like if I go to any events or anything, Nobody, like, usually you're like, oh, that kid looks just like his dad, or that kid looks just like his
Yeah,
mom, or
mom.
you can tell which kid belongs where. Mine, they're like, which one's yours? And I'm like, yeah, that giant behemoth over there that looks nothing like me, that's mine.
Ah,
I'm also
ah,
the shortest one in my family.
okay.
Like, the closest one is still like an inch or two taller than me. My full blooded sister's 4 or 5 inches taller than me at least. Like, we look like this. It's hilarious. But you got to think, I'm 5'2". I am not a big person. My son is 13 and he is
Yeah.
about 5'9", weighs like 220. He is a big mofo.
Yeah.
Yes, I pushed that sucker out naturally, by God. It took
Whoa.
36 hours and we almost had to cut him out because he couldn't fit.
No kidding.
And it was best was literally his head was so big that the doctors were concerned and they asked to do a CAT scan because they thought his brain was swelling. His head was so big. No way.
Wow.
And like literally, they were like, "Oh my gosh, this kid's head is like abnormal usually." I was like, "I am aware. I pushed that out of me
Yeah, hell yeah.
very
That came out of
painfully,
this.
mind you. Lots of
Yeah.
stitches involved afterwards, but it was just something that I'm like, people just to me, it is so weird that so many people look so much like their family.
Mm,
I look like my mom. Creepy, look like my mom. I look a lot like my grandma that I never met because she died when she was 41.
mm.
And even her pictures that were in my mom's got old pictures, like high school pictures of her, like in the cabinet. My son, when he was little, he would point and think he'd be like, "Mommy, mommy." He thought I was her. That's why I
Wow.
couldn't go see my grandpa. When my grandpa started losing his mind, I could not see
Mm.
him because when he looked at me, he saw her and he couldn't
Right.
understand why his
Yeah.
wife wasn't loving on him. But I was like, "Weird, grandpa."
Hello.
Like,
No.
I'm not like tongue hockey
Yeah.
jerking my grandpa.
Yeah. Hello. No, thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy. If you wouldn't mind, please take a moment and give the show a 5-star review wherever you're listening. I know it might not seem like much, but it greatly helps the show and allows people to find us more easily. Also, head on over to www.patreon.com/cryptids, creeps, and conspiracy and subscribe to any of the tiers. Members of the Big Show tier get bonus materials, personalized shoutouts on the pod, ad-free episodes, access to the private Discord server, quarterly appreciation gifts, and a chance to be on the show. Not to mention video versions of the episode. Before you go, don't forget to click the link in the description and grab yourself or someone you know some self-designed merch by me, or make a donation to help keep the show going and fund future events and investigations. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Threads, and TikTok. If you have any questions, topic recommendations, or personal encounters, please send them to cryptidscreepsandconspiracy@gmail.com or submit them through the contact form at www.cryptidscreepsandconspiracy.com. I would love to hear from you and share your experiences on a listener episode. Just make sure that you specify that I have permission to add your encounter to the show and let me know whether or not you would like your real name read or an alias to maintain confidentiality. Thank you guys all again so much for your support. Until next time, my friends. See ya.